Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or even good evening. We are just waiting on our sound. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your wedding series. Oh my goodness, it's a brand new day, and you know what that means? We are into another episode. So today we are going to be doing a little something different. And I'll explain to you as we go along. But for those that are joining, let's get into what is our wedding series, or should I say, your wedding series. Your wedding series is planning your wedding before you're even proposed to. So, before he even proposes, this is your wedding series. It's a slew of events that come along to tell your love story. Now, most people start planning their wedding when they get engaged, and that's fine. That works, right? But we are going to be planning your wedding from the beginning, and that means 14-year-old you. You were 14 years old, or you are 14 years old when you're watching this, and we are going to be planning your wedding for an entire year. And then we're going to be, well, I shouldn't say then, but as we are planning your wedding from 14-year-old you, that's not going to take very long. We're only going to be in that for maybe 2 to 3 weeks, right? And then we're going to fast forward all the way to when you actually get engaged. Now, that's going to be a different age for everybody. Not everybody is going to be the exact same age when they get proposed to. So, yeah, that's going to be up to, your time schedule and his time schedule. Your wedding series is a slew of events, like I said, and those events include, but don't have to include all of these events. It's going to include the proposal, obviously, he's got to ask you. And then it's going to include an engagement photo shoot, an engagement party with friends, family, coworkers, bridesmaids proposal once you figured out who's in the bridal party. And for some of you, I understand you probably won't even have one. Groomsmen proposal, if you are going to have groomsmen as part of your big day as well. A bachelorette party, a bachelor party, or a hen do, depending on what country you're in. And you're also going to be thinking about going dress shopping. I like to call it wedding gown shopping. Now, the other event that's really, really fun is the wedding shower or the bridal shower. Now, once again, not everybody has all of these events, not everybody wants all of these events, and not everybody can afford all of these events. But if you can, it's kind of fun to also have a welcome party for guests who don't live in the city or country where you're hosting your beautiful day. Also, there is the get ready with me on the morning of the wedding. So, as the bride is getting ready, all of that is being captured as like a little mini event as well. And then you have the wedding day ceremony and reception. And we can't forget that there is a rehearsal dinner the night before the wedding, as well as getting to practice the wedding ceremony portion. So everyone gets together and gets to practice, because sometimes there are people in your wedding party that might be a little bit nervous. You probably been practicing walking down the aisle in your living room or in your hallway, or down your staircase. But not everybody that's a part of your big wedding day has been practicing. So it's really, really good that you take the time to actually have a rehearsal. So let's talk a little bit about why I am here doing all of this. As your content creator, I provide wedding videography, but it's affordable. and you'll understand more as you continue to be a part of my platform. It's not going to be your $5,000 to $8,000 packages, depending on when you're watching this, because sometimes videographers and photographers can charge like that. But I am here to make sure that you are not holding your cell phone. Your guests aren't holding your cell phone. I know we live in a content creator life. We want to create content for everything. We want to capture all those moments. But that's my job, so that you can remain hands-free. I will be the only one carrying carrying a cell phone in my hand so that you can remain hands-free during all of your wedding series events. You want to be able to tell your love story. And that's why you have all of these events, so that you can tell your love story. You're doing all of that. And as you do, I am helping you make sure that these things come to life. So, lights, camera, action. Let's start the show and get your love story to unfold. I've been waiting all day to say that, you guys. I came up with it myself. So, we are talking about preparing for your wedding before he proposes. This is episode 2 of your wedding series. And we are talking about how to be a wife, a mother, or a mom, and a helpmate. So let's talk a little bit about why it's important to prepare for marriage before you get married. Now, overall, this is a this is part of your life that is also a part of your adulthood. So, preparing for marriage before he proposes is also a part of who you are as an adult. And so these skills that we're going to be talking about today, these life skills, are going to help you not just with marriage, but with overall being an amazing adult. We're talking about developing essentials for life skills, such as cooking and nutrition, financial management, and household management. Now, when we talk about cooking and nutrition, let's take a pause. Let's take a small pause. So, when we talk about cooking and nutrition, something that people think about when they're young is Pop Tarts, popcorn, um, things that make them feel like warm and cozy inside. And it's a lot of foods that aren't always good for us. And so, learning how to cook proper foods and how the right nutrition is a very, very key aspect at this point of your life at being age 14. You don't want to find yourself kind of having ice cream for breakfast every single day. How can you provide for your family and make them food when you only love ice cream and cake? Which I know I do too. I love ice cream and cake a lot, but I know that it's important that, like, I don't eat that every single day. I have learned to incorporate vegetables and fruits into my everyday nutrition. I don't really like to call it a diet, because I feel like when people say the word diet, it means that they are like taking things away and being very, very sad about what they're eating. So I just say my nutrition and the things that I'm cooking for myself, right? So that when I became an adult, I got better at being able to cook the the better, I should say the better things. I shouldn't say the right thing, but the better things that I should be eating, incorporating into my nutrition. Now, let's not get it twisted. I still eat ice cream and cake. I just don't eat it every single day. That's not good for us, right? So, you want to be developing those skills at this time. Now, the other thing is financial, being able to balance your money. Now, I know a lot of people, they're like, oh, just get an accountant for that. You may not be able to afford an accountant when you first become an adult or even when you first get married. So it's important for you to sit down and figure out how to balance your finances. At 14, you're not going to be working a job. But at 16, you will more than likely be wanting to work a job because you're going to want certain things. And so you're going to have to learn how to, spend a little, save a lot. And I say save a lot because there's a lot of expenses that come with being an adult, like insurance. You have to have insurance so that if something happens, you can go fix your car. You can go go to the hospital and get better. Things like that. If your house burns down, you can get a new one. Or hopefully, the insurance company can help you to get a new one because you've been paying them insurance. So these are things that it's important for you to understand that when you're 14 years old, go ahead and start learning them. I remember when I was in high school, it was so much fun. We actually got to go to this class where we had like a store for our school. And sometimes you see these even at like churches as well. But we had a store at our school, and you got to work in the store for high school credit. It was for part of your credit. So you got to understand what it feels like to like take money, put it into the register, count it back to somebody, seeing how much is left over at the end of the day and how much that the store made. It's a really good feeling to understand how to balance money and how to have a proper budget. So that helped me to get on my way. Also, my mom took the time out to have like those savings bonds, right? So she had these savings bonds for us, and we couldn't touch them until we were like 25. And so those savings bonds grew from the time we were like 8 years old or whatever when we put them in the bank. I think we were like 8 years old, 8 and 7. We put them in the bank, and then it grew over the years. So we got to watch that money grow. We got to see what it felt like to just put something in the bank and not touch it and watch it gain interest, right? So we got to learn about finances in that way. And then once we turned 25, we were able to take that money out and spend it as we wish or continue to save it, which is really, really nice. It was such a great life lesson, as well as we had bank accounts. So then we already started learning how to balance money at such young ages, like with our allowance and things like that. Now, not saying that we got like a ton of allowance, but it was just really cool that like whatever you had left over, you could go and like put it in the bank. And not everybody is excited about putting money into a bank. So my mom also taught us about like having the little piggy bank. So like ours wasn't a pig. It actually looked like a little bank. It was brown. We still have them to this day. It has like a little, it looks like a safe. It's really, really cool. It's got a little thing on it in order to like twist the security thingy on it, the numbers. And so we still have those. And like, it's really, really cool. So like, there are some people who like don't trust the bank and like they don't want to put their money in there, and that's okay. You don't have to. This is about you learning how to balance your money. My grandmother was one of those people that did not like putting her money into the bank. So I don't know what kind of piggy bank she had at home, but she never showed it to us. But I do know that she did not put her money into an actual bank, even though my mom tried so hard for her to do so. She was like, not having it. Then the next thing is like household management. And that's like your chores and, keeping a schedule and things like that when it comes to cleaning and organizing, like laundry and, grocery shopping and making sure you go get groceries and not forgetting to get them. So, these are things that are just extremely important. Hold on, guys. We have a phone call. Let's see who this is. Okay, you guys, so we can't take this call right now. It's quite important, but we cannot take it right now in the middle of the session.